What's up, y'all? Stonewall here, and today I am starting section 1 of the Great Divide Route. So this morning I headed out of Helena. Section 1 goes from Helena to Rooseville, Montana, which is the border crossing with Canada. And since I'm going north, it will be my 6th section of the Great Divide Route and my last section in America. After this, I'll just have the Canadian section left. This morning I had kind of a late start, slept in, ended up leaving about 8 o'clock in the morning, but then I had to stop by the grocery store. Pretty sure I got too much food. My bike is really heavy, barely got it all in that bag. Tried to get 3 days worth, might have gotten 4 days, I don't know. Headed out of Helena. There was some road pavement this morning, but eventually I got back on the gravel. I've had 2 pretty tough climbs today. Both of them were about 2,500 feet, I think, each. The first one was a lot tougher than I thought. I didn't realize it was going to be that big of a climb. And then just finished the second one here. It was not quite as bad as I thought, but still pretty tiring. I had to walk the last little bit just because I was worn out. In between those 2 climbs, I stopped at one of the 2 well-known trail angel spots on the trail. Barbara Nye is her name. Hung out there for about an hour. Would have been a really cool place to stop, but it's only about 38 miles from Helena, so only about halfway of what I want to do today. But they have actually have a llama ranch, I guess, behind them, and some cabins that they let cyclists stay in. But I just hung out on their porch, grabbed a drink, and hung out for about an hour, and then had to keep going before I got too comfortable. Like I said, I just finished this hill. I should have a pretty good descent. The directions say extremely steep, so hopefully it's rideable. It should be. Also, last night, it's kind of cool at the motel. I ran into someone who I met on the PCT 6 years ago, which was kind of crazy. It's crazy how this thru hiker and now bikepacking world, I guess, is kind of small. And it's also kind of cool how this route more or less parallels with the CDT, so you get some hiker-biker overlap, which is fun to talk with them. A little different perspective on more or less the same area. Alright guys, finally finished for the day. It's a later one, I think it's about 8:30 or so, but ended up finding a pretty cool campsite. A lot of times I'm just camped in some trees if I'm lucky, or in the middle of nowhere, but the lake here is pretty cool. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like this teal green color. After that climb, I had a descent, and then it went into the town of Lincoln. I was planning on doing about 10 more miles out of that, but the idea of a hot meal, despite having all that extra food, was too much to pass up. So I stayed in Lincoln for, I don't know, an hour or something. But there is a couple of forest fires nearby, which I hadn't really encountered or even thought about it till lately. When I was coming into Helena, or after I came in, some hikers told me about it, and I looked it up. It was on the northeast side, and came in from the southeast and went west, so I didn't even notice that fire. But then last night, I guess there were some lightning strikes and started a small fire just south of Lincoln, and I'm on the north side of Lincoln now, so I should be fine. But when I was coming out of those mountains, you could definitely see tons of smoke in the air. Online it said the hotshots already left that area. I don't know if that was just for the day or if they have it under control or not, but should be good. But there's a lot of smoke in kind of half the sky this evening. But anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this view a little bit and then get some sleep. It's me. Alright guys, pretty good day today. Did about 85 miles I think. Most part is pretty mellow. Had a few smaller climbs, smaller descents, but for the most part the majority of the ride today was pretty easy going, and it was through trees in the national forest, which was nice. It was pretty good until later in the day. Had a pretty big climb, but the top of that had a really cool single track trail. It's fun to ride. Had some drop offs to the side, reminded me kind of the PCT, except for I was on my bike this time. But that was a lot of fun to ride. Big descent, and then I got to a point where I made a wrong turn, which it's been a while since I made a wrong turn. Last one was when I went up to that lake, which I don't even remember when that was. Colorado maybe? I don't know, it was a while ago. But I ended up doing a mile off each way, so 2 miles total. Got back, and when I got back to the spot, according to Google Maps, good thing I looked ahead so the data was cached. That way I could view it offline. But the directions call it like Forest Road, whatever, some numbers. And you get there, and it is just a skinny trail off the side of the road. That's the road, right through there. Pretty sure they should call that a trail. It's no wonder I missed it. It was just a small little trail, and it turned into actually really fun descent down a double track. But the beginning of it, I mean, I just blew right by it. I was looking for a road, not a hiking trail. Besides that, I'm just gonna eat dinner, try to get to bed early, because I'm gonna try to do a really long day tomorrow. Coming to you late tonight, guys. It's kind of a long day, but it turned out to be a pretty good day. Ended up doing 101 miles, got to Columbia Falls here. It's the second day I've gone over 100. This one felt a lot better because I wasn't in the basin with headwinds all day. I'm in a private campground tonight, so it's a little noisy and not necessarily the best spot and overpriced, but it's the best choice if you want to stay in town. And all the hotels are super expensive. Morning started off a lot of good, kind of less traveled dirt roads through dense forest, which I like. It was a lot of fun. Decent amount of double track, even a little bit of single track, all through forest. A lot of fun. And I even saw a mountain lion this morning, which normally it's one of the animals I'm okay without if I don't end up seeing, but came across it. Was coming up this road, and he was coming across the road, so I stopped and kind of stared at each other for a while, made some noise, and eventually he decided I wasn't too interesting and kept going and went off into the woods. And then kind of waited around for a little bit before I went on by him. But I think that was the first one I've seen in person. So it was after the fact kind of cool, but then again, I'm okay if I don't see any more. But after the big climb, I had about, I think like 35 miles, mostly paved roads. It was all through kind of like rural neighborhoods, mixed with a few farms in there. Mountains were kind of on the side, so I got a little view, but just wasn't that fun of riding. And I was also trying to make it to the campground before 7. That's when the office closed, so pushed it pretty hard on the last 27 miles, pushed pretty hard. Got here in time, and I went uptown just a few blocks. There was actually a farmer's market going on, so got some food, and then went over to the Dairy Queen and got a giant blizzard, which was awesome. And now I'm gonna go to sleep. Got one more full day in America, and then the day after tomorrow I should hit the border. So looking forward to that.